Hello and welcome to another episode of the Beer Rep Chats With. Today I'm joined by Amelie Tassin from Women in Beer. So nice to see you and thank you for coming on the show.
Thanks for inviting me, Martin.
You're more than welcome. So for anyone who doesn't know too much about you and your work, can you tell us a bit about yourself and how you first got into the beer world?
Well, yeah. I've been working in the beer industry for about 20 years now, both in France and in the UK. I moved to the UK 7 years ago. Always been passionate about the food and drinks industry. I do like beer.
That helps.
And yeah, the beer industry has always been a very welcoming environment for me. And I'm passionate about telling stories about people, about like brewers and people who work in the industry. So it was quite natural for me to work in the beer industry.
Awesome. Whereabouts was you before you came to the UK?
So I was based in Paris, in France.
Lovely. Nice. Bit of a change of scenery from Paris to Edinburgh.
Definitely a quiet life and more like a green space. I do appreciate living near the sea.
Definitely. Yeah. So what sparked your passion for beer and eventually led you to start Women in Beer?
Well, yeah, as I was saying, I would say it's definitely about people. Just I was absolutely fascinated by people who are meeting on everyday basis, like brewing beer and making beer. I thought it was really, really great. And I really wanted. My day job is marketing. So I run a company in the UK called People Marketing, where we work exclusively with the beer industry. So whether it's breweries or beer businesses. So when I started, when I moved to the UK, I wanted to work a bit as freelancer in marketing. And I had just moved to the UK, didn't really know anybody, wanted to make friends, basically. And make connection as well in the beer industry. So I had seen quite a lot of women beer group popping up in the UK at the time. There was Ladies That Beer in Liverpool. There was a Crafty Beer Girl in London, but nothing in Edinburgh. So I decided to make my own. And that's how Women in Beer started, basically. Just like a way for me to meet people and to drink beer and to visit places where we drink good beer.
Lovely. So what was the whole mission behind, obviously you mentioned you just wanted to meet new people through beer, but what sparked the whole imagination of Women in Beer and what was the whole reasoning behind it, apart from obviously just meeting people?
It's literally coming from that.
Literally?
Yeah. It started as a media group. We were 4 on the first meetup, and we are more than 650 people now in the group, about 700. That's kind of what sparked the creation of the festival a year later in 2019 at the time. So it's like, well, a lot of people just like very surprised that women like beer. And when we're organizing events with like brewery owned by women or female head brewer, they were like, oh, that's love. Didn't know women work in the beer industry as well. So it was also just the idea of showcasing women who work in the beer industry, being out there as well, organizing events with encouraging women to try and to learn a bit more about beer.
Have you seen it grow since the beginning?
So I was saying, just like the first meetup were literally 4 people, and we've seen very, very soon an interest, but something new that we were offering to local people in Edinburgh, and something that, well, it's not like, can you say, just like, it's not like a gin and tonic like kind of vibe. and it was like it was definitely kind of filling a gap, I would say, for a lot of women that was like didn't really want it to be in a very girly atmosphere, or just like didn't really want it to drink wine or that kind of thing,
Yeah.
and wanted to just like, yeah, go to the pub, enjoy it, go to tap room. People are quite massively into craft beer as well. That just like wanted to know more about beer, and yeah, we organize also brew day with local brewery. So so it's been quite for quite a lot. It's like a, a learning experience as well, just like to come in the brewery and experience what's a brew day.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the idea was to get more women to work in beer. So I think that's what's all the point as well, and that's what something that we succeeded. I hope to show that a career in beer can be completely possible, and whether it's in brewing or sales or marketing or quality managing and anything, anything they put their mind on, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So, you know, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges that women still face in the industry as a whole?
But it's still that kind of misconception that women don't drink beer. Women just well, it's like, oh yeah, it's bitter, it's not for you, or that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Uh, which means it's like, well, yeah, the beer market is not addressing women, and it's still quite difficult for us beer drinker to be taken quite seriously in a pub, or just like being have like a so in some pubs have like a decent service, but also when it's your career to be kind of taken seriously in your everyday work. I've seen so many women that are constantly second guessed every day because they are a woman in the team, which never happened to their male colleagues. There are a lot of women that feel very isolated today in their everyday job, and it's a shame because it's often something that will make them quit the industry, which is, yeah, and we are losing absolutely amazing talents because the industry doesn't respect their women.
Yeah, they're just being overlooked. I mean, what do you think the reasons are that women are not taken seriously? I mean, do you think it's the age generation? Do you mean is it more on the older generation or the younger generation?
If only. If only. It's just like I mean, the industry has a like a sexism problem. Absolutely. It's unfortunately probably due very much due to the image of beer, that just like, oh no, beer is not drink for women. So which is, yeah, and it's probably more coming from that, because if you have a look at like women in STEM, for example, which is, I mean, brewing is part of the STEM environment. So if you look at that, the members, like there's a lot of women who work in science,
Yeah,
and and
definitely.
and when you compare to the numbers that we have for women working in the beer industry, it's completely different. It's much lower. So there's absolutely no reason why women could not do a career in the beer industry. Just the fact that it's still seen as something that's exclusively reserved to male, and obviously it will lead to issue where it's like bullying, and the fact that women are not really seen as legitimate in that industry, um, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's very male dominated. Sadly, it'd be interesting to see the facts, like the percentages of how many women are actually applying for jobs in brewing breweries and for sales and stuff, and how many are getting overlooked. Um,
Yeah.
I would like to see them percentages, and
Well, I would
obviously
like to see that as well, but I'm not
yeah,
sure that that kind of number would be very easy to get.
yeah,
But also, it's like it's an issue as well, just like for a lot of brewery that are just like would like to hire more women, but women that don't apply to their job because of like a multitude of issue, obviously, but because sometimes the brewery there's not some company not really appealing to women as well. Um, I've been doing quite a lot of seminars and training around that, and the first thing company that would like to hire more women should have a look at how they project themselves on the market,
Yeah.
what's on their websites, what's on their social media, how they project themselves as a company. If in all their image on Instagram they see the same like 2 or 3 guys, white guys, nobody diverse can apply to that. Just like it doesn't feel welcome.
Yeah. More diversity needed. So you started a project called a Mentorship Program for women in beer. Can you tell us a bit about that and what's involved?
Yeah, absolutely. So the idea was to, following the second edition of the Women in Beer Festival, we had identified like that needs for some young women to meet up with more experienced women in the beer industry, just to kind of find support and to find like an environment where they can get some new skills, but also get some advice, get some shared experience. So I was saying earlier, it's often an issue for women to feel very isolated in their day-to-day work. As we know, there's like a very few women working in the beer industry, and when they are there, they're only female in the brewery team or even in the brewery. So the idea was to create that network for women, but not only younger women. We have mentees of all age, but for women in a situation where they need that support and then they need to be surrounded by a mentor and by a network of women.
Yeah.
So it's basically started like that, and so we've started with the first cohort. It was like 12 mentees that have been paired with their mentor, and so we offering them mentoring station, like one-to-one session with a mentor, but also opportunities during their program to meet the entire group, to come and visit. For example, to do field trip. For example, we went last year to Simpsons Malt in Berg and to Crisp Malt in Norwich, to learn a bit more about how the malt is made and so like what's the that's that kind of behind the scene of the beer industry as well.
Yeah.
So those networking opportunities are fantastic opportunity for them to create their network, to build that network and share experiences. And we also offer to our mentees a knowledge aspect to the program as well. We really strongly believe that with more knowledge as well, with more access to qualification, there will be more women being more confident and like finding their voice in the beer industry. So
Yeah. What sorts of mentors do you have for women? I mean, who's doing some of the mentoring for you?
so we have like our mentorship is open to all paths, all. There will be some writer, there will be some salesperson, marketing, brewers, quality manager. So we have mentors from all the parts of the industry as well. So we have people like Elisa Cool, we have Miranda Hudson from Duration, we have Joanna Neal from the Malt Miller. We have Daisy Turner from Typical Marketing as well. We have a lot of different people to kind of fulfill all the needs, I would say.
Depending on what path they want to go down, if it's writing or brewing, you've got someone in each area who can mentor them and give them advice and guidance. It's brilliant. I mean, I've heard of all of them, and they're very respected in the world, in their genre, and their and it sounds like a great mentorship program. For the brewing side of things, do many of the people that do the mentorship program go on to do the IBD
Yeah,
course and things like that?
yeah. We have a few mentees that are like either just like in the process of getting their IBD, or like some of them got their apprenticeship as well. So there's quite a lot of brewers that have been doing that. So that's great.
Very hard. It's very hard,
Yeah.
the IBD. I've done it
Yeah.
myself, and I wasn't quite prepared for the exam. I mean, the tests that they do during your learning in different parts of the courses, I was flying through them. And when it came to the actual exam, I was like, oh, okay, this is different. So yeah, if anyone does pass the IBD course, give yourselves a massive pat on the back, because it is very hard.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as people think it is.
No, I can imagine. Yeah.
It's very hard, yeah. Uh, so anyone can get involved. Can they join as a mentor or as a mentee as well?
Anyone can get involved. So our mentorship is open to all people who are identifying as women and who lives in the UK for the moment. So anyone can be a mentor. Any like same all mentors are all people who identify as women, because we we feel that it's still more important to have that kind of shared experience of being a woman for mentors and mentees.
So how's the response been since setting up the mentorship program? Has it been?
It's been fantastic. I mean, the response from the mentor that I've approached been absolutely fantastic. The trust from the mentors has been great, and anyone that I approached has been really, really happy to get involved, and it was great. And to give, as you were saying earlier, just like the credibility to the program as well, because all those women are absolutely fantastic. So I was like kind of very humbled by the fact they would trust me into that project. But also for the mentees, we had like dozens of applications. Like we had like usually between 25 and 50 applications every time we open a program. So it's been 3 cohorts for the moment. We just finalized the third cohort that they literally started last week. So it's really encouraging to see the quality of the program, to see that people see the quality of the program, but it's also a bit, well, in the back of your mind saying, oh, we should not need that. But well,
Yeah, I mean, what's good about it, I feel, is that you're getting it out there, and more people are hearing about it, not just women but men as well. And it just shows, it's just giving you more traction and more push forward to get more women in the beer industry, and educating in the UK, in particular, I suppose, that there isn't enough women in the beer industry, and why are they being overlooked, and why is there not enough head brewers, and why is there not enough, them big roles in the beer industry? Why is there not enough women in them roles? And I think what you're doing is helping people see that, which is amazing. And do you think there's any breweries or certain individuals in the industry that are getting it right when it comes to inclusivity? And
absolutely. Yeah, there's a few I could name, just like I'll name a couple. We had Handball, for example, got the awarded recently about that. The fact they are like making things right. They're doing as much as they can to be inclusive with women, but also with other minoritized population, which is absolutely fantastic.
They recently won the diversity award at BeerX. Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very, very good.
Yeah, Kate, who's the head brewer there, is one of our mentors as well. We're very proud for that. And I would say more locally, closer to me, and a brewery that we've done a collab recently with, Moonweek. Moonweek's been doing since the start a lot of amazing thing around inclusivity and for the well-being of their team as well. They have an extremely diverse team in the brewery, in the office, but also in the tap room, which is absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, and the main thing, they're making great beer.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what's next for Women in Beer? I mean, have you got any upcoming projects, any events, any goals that you're excited about?
Well, what next? I would say, first of all, we need to find the funding for the fourth cohort of the mentorship program. It's everyday fight to convince people to basically help us for those programs to still exist. It's expensive program because we pay our mentors for their time, and also because our mentees get all the expenses covered, so they can travel to the WSET qualification, and travel to the networking event that we organize to visit marketing plans, for example. So it's an expensive program, but it's how we allow it to be the more inclusive and open to everyone. Because otherwise, if you can't participate because you don't have the budget, well, it's we would recreate the same issue as offering those programs only for people who can afford it, which is not what we want to.
So you want to make it more affordable for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. It sounds good.
And so, well, the first thing is this, and second thing that's coming, it's a new thing for Women in Beer this year, is that we organize Women in Beer Awards. So we'll keep celebrating and highlighting the women who work in the beer industry, because we think visibility is very much key of like resolving that issue. So we are organizing our first Women in Beer awards at the end of the year.
So how can our listeners stay up to date with your work and help support what you're doing?
Well, follow us on social media, absolutely. Sign up to a newsletter. Also become one of our patrons. We have a Patreon where people can just like set up a £1 or £2 each month to support what we're doing with Women in Beer. Every penny counts, and I would not say that enough. every penny counts.
Yeah.
All our patrons receive like a specific newsletter as well, that's like reserved for them and for the mentees and the mentors and for that mentorship community.
Awesome. What's the website?
So it's womeninbeer.co.uk, and our Patreon is like on Patreon as Women in Beer.
Cool. Yeah. So all the links to the website, social media accounts will all be in our description. So yeah, definitely check them out and give them a follow. And yeah, they're doing an amazing job. Best beer, your best beer that you've had recently.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say?
It's difficult, just like I'm not.
And don't be biased with your Moonweight collab. That doesn't count. You can't be biased with that one.
No. Well, in that case, I would say, well, the beer that's been the collab that's been brewed from Button Bridge, the No Half Measure. It's absolutely beautiful beer that I've drunk on cask on that weekend. Absolutely beautiful.
What's your feelings on cask? Do you prefer cask or keg? Cask or keg?
Why choose? Why? I like both.
If there was a crazy reason where there was either no keg or no cask, what would you want to survive?
I think I would go cask.
Yeah. A lot of people say cask. I actually love cask. If it's a good cask ale, you can't beat a good cask ale.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that's anything else? Any final words you want to say to everyone before we go?
Well, I would say get involved with your local women beer group and yeah, and support them. We very much need support at the moment because yeah, a lot of us are very tired. So yeah, get involved. There, just like support us and yeah, be an ally if you can.
How would they find their local women support group for?
Well, I think there's a there's been like quite a lot of like uh, shout out around International Women Collaboration Brew Day. So I would go on there and have a look at all the brewery and the groups that I've been doing collabs, and it's probably a good start.
Yeah. Brilliant. Amelie, it's been amazing to have you on and to learn more about women in beer and yeah, definitely need to speak up a bit more about women in the industry because there's some great people in women in the industry that are doing some great beers and doing some great work. And yeah, it can't be shouted about enough. So thank you for coming on.
Thanks for inviting me again.
Not a problem. So our next episode will be with Danny Tapper from Beak Brewery. I'm very excited about that. Until then, we'll catch you again for the Beak chat. So catch you later. Bye bye.